Hi guys, it's your boy, I meant libertarian election predictions here, back again with another video. Today, it's been a while since I've done my 2022 Senate predictions, so as a result, I will do it as of what is today, August 25th, 2021. And guys, let's have a moment. Today marks 3 years since John McCain, the poor guy, poor guy has died. He's such a legend for Arizona and showed really what bipartisanship looks like, not fighting with others, instead trying to work with others. So I think we should have a moment of silence, guys. I think if you guys are watching, please pause it, and I will resume in a minute. I hope you guys took a minute to honor John McCain, what a legendary senator for Arizona, and a model of exactly what a United States senator should look like. Anyway, guys, I'm crying a little bit. I'm not like a Republican, but at least some McCain is someone I could respect. But anyway, without further ado, please subscribe if you haven't. We're at 44 subscribers, and guys, I want to get to 50 subscribers by the end of this month, especially before school starts. Before, yeah, I have to toil, and I don't know if I could be able to upload as much, but we'll talk about that maybe as it gets closer. Anyway, guys, so let's start with the offer of safe Democratic states for Chucky Schumer: Washington, Oregon, California, New York, Vermont, Connecticut, Maryland, Illinois, and Hawaii. So that would be all the safe Democratic states. Let's get rid of Charlene's. Now, safe Republican states: Idaho, Utah, the Dakotas, Kansas. Jerry Moran is super popular there. I don't know why, but he's just beloved in Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. Although there may be speculation John Bell Edwards may run against John N. Kennedy. So we gotta I should keep you posted on that. Alabama, Kentucky, and yeah. Sorry guys, I just got a message from my friend. Anyway, so I think Republicans will start. Well, Iowa, I don't know if Chuck Grassley's going to run again, but let's give him benefit of the doubt. Let's just say Chuck Grassley runs again. So, if that case, Iowa will be safe. I think it could be closer because there are a lot of Iowans who say that you know Chuck Grassley. They don't want Chuck Grassley to run again, but Chuck Grassley's more like the John McCain of Iowa. He's a very like somehow he's like treated like a god in Iowa, and I think he should be respected. Longtime senator for Iowa. South Carolina, Tim Scott is much more popular than Miss Lindsay. So, well, yeah, Scott I could say sort of a neocon, but at least he's better than Tim Scott. At least he's better. So Republicans start out with 42 safe seats, and Democrats have 45. Likely Democratic states include Colorado. I think Michael Bennett will do better than he did in 2016 because Colorado is now a much bluer of a state than it used to be in 2016. So Bennett did outperform Clinton by pretty narrowly, so I expect him to outperform his 2016 margin. Plus, I don't see any strong Republican contenders in Colorado, so I think he should be okay there. Um, and I think that's it. Now, likely Republican states, I would say Alaska. I know Lisa Murkowski's in danger, but I think with ranked choice voting, I think she should be all right. If you're a voter and I would vote Al Gross, for example, then many Gross voters would probably put Lisa Murkowski as their second, because even if their guy doesn't win, at least they'd rather see Lisa Murkowski representing them than a Trump Republican. Although I do think if both Republicans are going to be in the lead, I believe it's still going to be close regardless. But it's still going to be a likely margin. Florida, another easy one. Marco Rubio is extremely popular amongst Cuban Americans and just a very popular statewide official in Florida. He's like the electoral juggernaut there. He's the only one that can win at least by 5% or more. So I think Florida would be pretty good for the Republicans in 2022, unless Ron DeSantis, messes up big time, and then probably. then probably it would be in play. But that is another video. Oh, Indiana would be safe. I thought if Pete Buttigieg was running, I think that would have been likely. But I think Todd Young, he's not facing any strong opposition like Evan Bayh, and like he faced former Senator Evan Bayh in 2016. So I think Todd Young should win comfortably. And my other likely Republican state I see is Missouri. Again, I think that there's definitely a great candidate for the Democrats, Lucas Kuntz. I think he's an excellent candidate. I would support him. I would support him. He's a progressive populist. Would really appeal to rural Missouri. But again, I think Missouri's gone pretty far to the right to the point that it's pretty much to no return. But Missouri tends to be more competitive in Senate races. So on the presidential level, it's more like a solid R state. But Senate races are pretty competitive. Like Roy Blunt, he almost came within. And he almost lost in 2016. It's just Trump's strong performance in Missouri carried him over the line. Had Trump won Missouri, say by 15, Roy Blunt could have lost his seat essentially. Then we would have been talking about Senator Kander, but that's not the discussion. And I think that's all I see for the likely Republican states. Now, lean Democratic seats. I think Nevada and Arizona are both lean D seats. Like Nevada, Catherine Cortez Masto. I'm not really sure about her, but I think she's popular. She's not like unpopular, so I think she should be all right. Even with though the and even though a lot of people are Republicans, especially, are saying, "Oh, the far left machine took over the Nevada Democratic Party." Well, I think that's a right one step in the right direction because we need parties to be responsive to the people. So I think for once they're stepping up. Although I don't think Catherine Cortez Masto will face a primary challenge, but definitely at least but I do think she's probably still gonna win. In Arizona, Mark Kelly, I don't really see anyone strong taking him down. I think the strongest competitor would be Mark Blake Masters, but I don't think he's gonna win. And Mark Brnovich already has a bad relationship with Trump. So I think the Arizona GOP's bench is not in an area is pretty weak. I would say I won't say it's all of them are weak, but a lot of weak candidates. Like if you look at the polls, Mark Kelly's literally crushing everyone. Yeah, there are times where there is a time here he could make a mistake, but I don't think he's going to. Concerning he doesn't want to run the risk of that. And I think my final lean state, I would say Pennsylvania. I think this would be a lean D flip. Again, I've been pretty strong about it. Like I don't know about that John Fetterman scandal. Like it's a very small scandal. Like sure it could hurt him a little bit, but at the same time, running ads about it is not gonna work because essentially he's been fighting for progressive policies. But on the environment, he's super moderate. So I don't think he's not like Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders like type of guy in the environment. Well, arguably it's so. I would say I'm more to the right of Fetterman on the environment. I'm not like pro fossil fuel or pro polluters, but at the same time, I'm not like, oh, get rid of fossil fuels because, of course, our large source of our income comes from fossil fuels. But I think anything should be slow. So right now, Democrats are at 49 Senate seats to Republicans 46. So the lean R states, I think there's only one, Ohio. I know why you guys might be saying, "Oh, I thought Ohio. I thought it's trending to the right." Yeah, it is trending to the right. I don't doubt it. But at the same time, it looks like Josh Mandel is the front runner, and and the problem with that is that Mandel he's extremely Trumpian, like more so, like he's like more conservative than Trump himself. So I think Josh Mandel's extreme conservatism can definitely hurt him in the suburbs, especially Cleveland. If Tim Ryan can get out the working class, get out the Cleveland base, then definitely Mandel's in trouble. As voters will see him as extreme and how he flip flopped from 2012. And plus, Mandel has made some very outlandish comments, so don't get me started on that. But again, Ohio, it's not like Ohio isn't Georgia, guys, unfortunately. So yeah, we're gonna have to deal with Mandel, unfortunately. But I don't know what the GOP is gonna do. Whether they'll let him run away with the nomination or like force Jane Timken or JD Vance into the nomination, so at least they could beat Tim Ryan by like 6. But I think Mandel is probably going to win 3 to 4 points. And so now we're under four most competitive races. I think Pennsylvania is going to be extremely competitive, but I think Fetterman has the advantage if you look at the polling, even though it's outside the margin of error. So I think Fetterman could still win comfortably. It depends on who runs against him, though. So we're now under four most competitive: Wisconsin, New Hampshire, North Carolina, and Georgia. So let's first start off with Georgia. Georgia is going to be an interesting one because Herschel Walker is running for Senate, guys. And guys, trust me, he is. He's actually running. So for you conservatives, good, you guys got some good news. But I digress. But still, I think Georgia is going to be extremely hard. You got Raphael Warnock who beat Kelly Loeffler, but arguably so because Kelly Loeffler is a very weak incumbent, and on top of that, she was never elected. And plus, Warnock was elected, before. So I think but both of them have pretty strong name recognition. Like Herschel Walker is very famous in Georgia, but at the same time, I don't think being famous translates into votes. Like just because there may be people who respect Herschel Walker, but at the same time, if they may look at his policies and say no, he's too Trumpian. And plus, if he runs too close to Trump, then I think Warnock can tie him to Trump. Especially, Trump is not popular in Georgia, so I think it depends on how Herschel Walker runs, but I think Warnock is favored due to incumbency advantage. Its incumbency advantage is super strong when it comes to Senate races in Congress. And I do understand about the Georgia voting law. I think it's awful, like the way, like some of its wording is awful. But I don't get why many Democrats are screaming about voter IDs. Like, guys, if you like Democrats, if you don't like voter IDs, at the very least, you can at least try to make them more affordable. Make them more affordable, make them inexpensive. That way, people are not paying like tens of hundreds of dollars or $50. Make it voter ID like $5. If you just stop complaining about voter IDs, voter IDs are proven. We need voter IDs to make sure our elections are secure. And yeah, Georgia has secured Democrats the majority with 50 Senate seats. Moving up north into North Carolina, I think this one's a bit hard because Democrats seem to do well here, but in the end, the Republican always tends to win. But I think if Democrats should run Cherry Beasley, I think she's a stronger candidate than Jeff Jackson because Cherry Beasley is African American, so I think she's definitely gonna help excite the African American base, especially the African American base doesn't turn out at a rate that they did in Georgia. So I'm not being racist here, saying all black people vote blue. That's not true, but I think Cherry Beasley could definitely, with her being an African American herself, I think can definitely motivate turnout. But again, North Carolina did vote for the former president, so I think Democrats will have an uphill battle. Plus, they are losing by 1 point in the generic polls. But it depends who wins the nomination. Like Ted Budd, could turn off voters at the same time. So I think North Carolina is in the air, but I think I would narrowly give it to the Republicans because given how the Republicans always generally tend to have an edge in the state. It's like Nevada where Republicans target it aggressively, but it always ends up going to the Democrats. Not always, but it typically ends up going to the Democrats. So, yeah. New Hampshire. I know Chris Sununu has publicly expressed interest on running, so but I don't know why he's taking too long to announce. Maybe he's just floating it, or either he just doesn't want to run, but just keeping it and trying to keep Maggie Hassan on her toes. But it depends, But don't count out Maggie Hassan. She's a pretty strong incumbent, especially she defeated someone who won by a landslide in 2010. Kelly Ayotte, I'm talking about. She won in 2010 with over 60% of the vote there, which is huge and defeating an incumbent who won by a lot, in 6 years prior, is definitely remarkable. And considering how strong Kelly Ayotte was of an incumbent, so guys, don't underestimate Maggie Hassan. She's just because she managed, just because she defeated just because she defeated Kelly Ayotte. Like even Kelly Ayotte was leading her in the polls, but Maggie Hassan narrowly pulled it off. So I would say I think Hassan will win very narrowly. It's not going to be like like a blowout. But if she faced someone else like Dan Bulldog, then probably I would put it likely D. But I think Hassan has the advantage due to incumbency factor. But Chris Sununu is popular, but at the same time, popular governors don't always win Senate races. Just ask Phil Bredesen what happened in 2018. The guy was like had a 75% approval rating in Tennessee when he left and lost by 11 points to Marsha Blackburn, which is a respectable showing in Tennessee for a Democrat in Tennessee, but he's a popular guy. Maybe if it's just there's some more regular old populist Democrat coming within 10% of winning is a remarkable showing. Now we're now in the last state, which is Wisconsin. This one's a bit hard because Ron Johnson, like we don't know whether Ron Johnson's gonna run or not, but I think Ron Johnson with the incumbency factor could win, but it depends on who Democrats run, because if I look at the Democratic candidates, I don't think all of them are that great, but I think Ron Johnson's recent comments, which have sparked controversy. So I think it's very difficult. I think I'd say Wisconsin's a pure toss up. I think it can go in the air, but I think given how Wisconsin's trending, I think it would narrowly go to the Republican Party, but I have to see more polls that's showing Ron Johnson's losing. Anyway, guys, that is my final Senate. This is my Senate prediction as of August 25th, 2021. Republicans have 49 Senate seats, to the Democrats 51, and Democrats flipped one seat, which is Pennsylvania, and they held the rest of and they will hold all their seats while flipping Pennsylvania. Anyway, guys, if you like my prediction, please put a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can put a thumbs down or tell me why you didn't like it. And guys, please comment down on my videos. I need to know, from you guys, because that's how I can tell whether you guys are really actively watching my videos or not. Because if you guys just, let me off the hook like that, then it's not going to be worth it. So please comment on my videos, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content I make. And I'm making a Senate election night coming up. An election night is coming up pretty soon. Anyway, guys, libertarian election predictions out. Oh, sorry, guys. I have to quit it. Bye.